Perfect. I've found the AirTag. Let's have a look at AirTag for Creative Pros. I'm Art and ArtIsRight. Before we start, subscribe if you're new and hit on the bell icon so you'll be notified every time I upload cool new videos like this. AirTag, Apple's latest hot item. If you are already using an iPhone and are in the iOS ecosystem, I think that it makes a lot of sense for you to at least get one, if not more AirTags to track the items, giving you the peace of mind. For instance, you can buy them in a single pack or a pack of 4, similar to what I have here, and let's open this up. And there's no AirTag there. No, it didn't get shipped this way. This is because I already pull out the AirTag to use and set it up in different locations that I'm using these AirTag in, and this is not an unboxing and review video. So if you want to see those, there are plenty of YouTubers who have gone into depth about that. But what I want to do, though, is talk about AirTag from a few different perspectives. One of them being a photographer like myself, a wedding and event photographer, that I'm always going on location, hence why I'm having all these bags on the table to talk about this and give you some of my perspective. So, photography standpoint. Also, I want to cover AirTag for traveling, when traveling comes back again. And when I say travel, that doesn't mean just get in your car. I mean actually getting on an airplane and flying a very long distance. And a lot of times what happens on a shoot, we will take our equipment and we'll fly them across the country with us. Having an AirTag there definitely gives us a peace of mind. I'm going to cover that. I'm going to talk about AirTag with regards to tile, and because I have a first-hand experience using a tile device, and I'll kind of really tell you what I really think about tile and why I think AirTag's a big winner. And lastly, we're going to have a look at some accessories, well, about 5 of them, because I've got 5 of these, and give you some of my perspective on that. So let's start out with being a pro photographer first. I am a wedding and event shooter, as I already mentioned, and these are literally just about a third of the bag that we would carry on site with us. Now, you may say, well, you can always leave these back in a car. Well, yeah, kind of, unless you have to valet the car and the car is parked somewhere far, or you have to really hike into the venue. There are so many reasons where we have to take our bag with us, right? The other thing about our bags is that, well, there's this big bag here that contains the camera, to which once we arrive on location, we would take the main camera out. For example, I have 2 cameras on me and I'll have a 3rd camera in this bag. And this bag would then just remain in a singular or multiple location depending on the venue. But normally it's by the DJ booth, in a corner room, or in a closet somewhere, to which we would then start to go work. And we forget about this bag. Not that we want to really forget about it, but sometimes we don't have the opportunity to really be tracking everything because there's just so many things going on. And this is a fairly bulky bag to just pretty much drag it everywhere you go. I know some photographers that hire people to go with them on that day just to babysit the bag. That's not what we do, because everyone that we bring on site with us onto a job is actively photographing or helping me out on a shoot. And I want to keep the number of people down to the minimum when we go out to these locations, just because it's much easier to move a smaller amount of people than larger amount of people on the team. All right, so now that we have some background about this primary bag, what's contained in this bag, like I said, is the main bodies. Once we pull them out, there is backup bodies in here, and also any ancillary, secondary, and tertiary equipment that we don't use quite often remains in this bag. Now there's another bag. This is the one that we call the football. It comes from the idea from the nuclear football that the President of the United States have. Well, this is the football for our photography day, meaning that it has everything that we need, flashes, extra batteries, whatever that may be, on the day of. So we need something, we don't always have to go back to this bag. This is always either on me, or my assistant or my associate is always carrying this bag. So we call this the attaché, or the football bag. And so anyway, speaking of AirTag, what I really see as a big use there is to put an AirTag in a bag like this. And even in this small one that we carry with us, should we put this down somewhere and we don't remember, or for instance, our assistant left the area for a second, we need to find it, we can easily find this bag and get the equipment we need. And for this one, I put an AirTag in here, right on the very top. So this is one of those things that you can just hide in a bag in a way you don't have to expose the AirTag or put them onto like a luggage tag or anything like that, just kind of showing that you have an AirTag around. Why would you want to do that, right? But this is giving you a peace of mind and an opportunity for you to track these devices. Let me put it this way. I've also photographed at high-end venues where they have like a room, for example, a ballroom next door or something. They say like, okay, leave your equipment here. And that ballroom is not locked. The hotel staff get access to it from the back side of the room. The front side of the room, even though it looks like a lock, it's not really locked. Anybody can just walk in and out. And that's always a risk, leaving the bags there. But, you know, on the day of the shoot, what happened is that everything that we need is pretty much on my person or in this bag. So we're pretty much safe there. And also all the memory cards remain on my person throughout the entire day. And we never had any incidences where we lost a bag or lost any equipment, knock on wood. But it's one of those things that these unforeseen event could happen. Having an AirTag there does give us a peace of mind now that we're about to go back and start up photographing a lot again, so that we can know, we can track our equipment, we can find it. And should somebody just walk away with our belongings, well, we can literally just find it and have it start making sound, so that, well, somebody's walking with that and they start making sound, start making beeping sound, it's going to look suspicious really quickly. So those are kind of the ideas behind it. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to this, you can put them inside the bag, for instance, like what I'm doing. You can also use the letter loop thing. I wouldn't necessarily use any of those because it just gives people an opportunity to take them out and leave them somewhere. So I would even go further. And on some of the bags, you have this double lining with like a zipper on the inside. What I would probably do is unzip this and put it in the lining somewhere so it's not that easily seen and it's not easy to be found. So that's kind of my thought about it. And yes, even though Apple said that these are not used to track the theft of device or items, I still think that you can certainly apply it that way in a very roundabout way, and it should work and at least just give you some peace of mind on the shoot day. Now, like I said, I have a camera body in here. I probably wouldn't put one in the camera body because it's going to have to be exposed anyway. Somebody can just take that out and leave it in a room and it doesn't do us any good. So I'd rather just track the bag, have these there. Now, when travel comes back again, and it's starting to come back right now, but we're not really traveling quite as much yet for photo shoot. But when we go out to do photo shoot and we get on airplanes, a lot of times we'll carry all our equipment with us, right? So we'll have a check bag for our equipment, we'll have bags for clothes, whatever that may be. And I feel like the AirTag will come in really handy for that, and just throw it in a bag, put it in like a zipper in a corner somewhere and just leave it there. If you're using a regular bag, like a Samsonite bag or something like that, you can certainly put it under the underlying part and either tape it or find a holder or something for it. So this way it's not on the outside. Again, somebody can't just take it out. They wouldn't even know there's an AirTag there. But I think that's a really great way to just add a peace of mind. And for me, I go on location on everything a lot, and even when I'm traveling locally, I'm going to have an AirTag in this backpack that I have too. Granted, I always carry my cellular iPad everywhere I go anyway, so I can probably track the cellular iPad much faster than I can track the AirTag, but having both just gives me that peace of mind. Should I also need to find a bag, you can do that. One other thing that you can really use this too is that, for instance, if you have a lot of these camera bags and you don't use some of them all the time, you can label them, each one with different AirTags, and you can throw them in a closet and use them to find the item later on. I mean, that's a really roundabout way of using it, but it's definitely something to consider. Here's the thing though, if you're going to get an AirTag, I recommend getting at least 4 because you're going to find ways to use them and you're going to save 20 bucks immediately right then and there. So what do I feel about AirTags compared to Tile? Let me put it this way. AirTag, being an Apple device, they have billions of devices out there. And especially if you live in the US, well, you're going to be covered fairly well, meaning that somebody around the neighborhood is going to have an iPhone. And whether they know if they found an AirTag or something like that, it's going to pop up on their phone saying, you should contact this person, we found this item. That makes a lot of sense to me. Because when we had an issue with the Tile device, we put them in lost mode. And the thing with the Tile device is that very few people use the Tile device, and we never found that item. We could never find that item because there's not that many people who have actually used a Tile device or have the Tile app installed on their mobile phones. So that's one of the big things that Apple has its advantages right away. And I'll put it this way. If I go out to my neighbors up and down my street, and if I ask them like, hey, do you have a Tile? And they'll probably look at me as like, you mean like the one inside our kitchen floor or in our bathroom? So yeah, that's the way how I feel about tiles in general. I know that some people use them, but it's not quite as widespread as what an AirTag would do with all these Apple devices. So that's one of the big things there. And lastly, let's have a look at some of the accessories. So I have got a few of them. Let's talk about two of these first. So this is the letter loop and the regular loop. So I have the letter loop in red. It doesn't feel to me like a high-end quality letter, and if you ask me, I probably would not spend money to get this. I mean, I'm going to return all these anyway. I feel that if you're going to get one, the regular loop feels a little bit better. It feels a little more rubbery like the silicone case, but you know, I think that works better than the leather one. I think the leather one is just expensive, and you don't really have to get an AirTag and then buy into all these accessories, because majority of the accessories that are Apple made cost more than the AirTag itself. So that's my thought about the accessories, at least with regards to a leather loop. So here's the thing, you can put the leather loop on the outside of the bag like this, but guess what? If somebody sees this, they're pretty much going to take this out right away, and I don't really see the point showing people that I have an AirTag. I mean, if I'm going to have a device that will track my item, why would I want to show people that I have the device there? I mean, I guess you can show it to people as a deterrent, but I just rather have it inside somewhere where people don't know where it is and they can't take it out easily. So there are other accessories I've purchased with this too as a test to see what's happening and how I like them. This is the leather keyring. And again, I feel like the leather quality from Apple for these devices are okay. I don't feel like they're, you know, high-end leather or anything like that, but I'm definitely not going to be spending, what, $300-400 for an Hermes keyring or Hermes leather loop either. So that's the thing. And one of the last accessories that I've purchased that I feel have some use and would probably be pretty good is the Belkin one. So I got the Belkin one here. This is the secure holder strap. So this one comes with a strap, but pretty much what Belkin does here is that this device, this portion itself is plastic and it encloses the AirTag. It's pretty much the same throughout regarding the key loop or the leather strap. It's just that this one comes with a strap where the other one just comes with a round keyring thing. And I feel like this is pretty good. I mean, it's priced more reasonably than the Apple one. If you don't want to get any of these two brands and save a little bit more money, you can certainly go on Amazon and see what they have to offer. There are plenty of them out there. Some of them are still ramping up manufacturing, so you have to wait a little bit longer. But I think as time progresses, we're going to be able to get a lot more of those accessories, and they're going to be cheap enough that if they break, we'll just get a new one. No big deal. So here's the thing. If you are a photographer like myself and you're thinking about getting one, I would just tell you right now to just go get 4, save yourself $20 because you're going to find use for the other 3. And I wouldn't get any of these accessories at all. If you're just primarily using them for your gear like what I'm doing right now, just put them in different zippers in each of your bag and have them with you. And like I said, when you need to put them on your luggage, I wouldn't put them on the luggage or on the luggage loop where you handle them. I would just hide them in the bag somewhere so that people can't find them easily. So anyhow, that's my AirTag review from a photographer perspective. I hope that you find that useful. Questions or comments below. Give this a like, subscribe and hit on bell if you're new. And until next time, in art we trust.